Intercontinental Sport TV. Leave me alone. Thank God it's Friday, people. We gotta do what we gotta do on Friday. It's gonna be massive tonight. It's all about sports on this channel. Massive day, people. What do I have here? I have my great people. I'm not here alone. Always with my crew, with my big family. ISTV, this is how we cook it. You know what I'm saying? Drop it, DJ. Come on, let's go, people. Smash the like on the video. Subscribe. What are you waiting for? Join the biggest community. Oh my goodness. All right, let's do this, people. We want to talk about transfer tonight. The paper talk. Arsenal is spending big. I can't believe it. They are buying anything. They are coming for Timber. They are coming for Kolotore. Oh, sorry. They are calling for Samuel. Oh, my goodness. They are buying. Manchester United. Only one. Dragging. I want to welcome this great man. He's an Arsenal fan. To the core, to the bone, to the flesh. He's breathing Arsenal. You know what I'm talking about? This guy, all the way from United Kingdom. Okwe's ready. Let me speak with him. Okwe, what's going on? Can you hear me loud and clear? Arsenal is spending. What's it called you?
Yeah, the Dawn. It's a pleasure to be back on ISTV. It's been a minute. And what a time to be back. What a time to be alive. What a time to be an Arsenal fan.
Can you hear that?
Absolutely loving it.
Pepe. Too much money. But you know yes, what? Before we go into this trade, I'm going to welcome other people. But some people are saying all eyes will be on Arteta now. Next season, if he doesn't win Shigbai, they are coming for him. I know you're going to speak, but hold on. Just have that in mind. I'm going to ask. I'm going to ask you. All right, people, smash the like on the video for this great man. He's ready. Now let me use this to welcome this woman. I call him the biggest woman, Margaret. The Iron Lady. The Iron Lady herself. Getting ready. Maggie, talk to me. Manchester United, only one player. Do you like it? Mount in the building.
Hey, the Dawn. Good evening from here. It's good to be here, to be back here once again. Okwe, it's been a while. Hi.
Yay.
Hi, Maggie. Thank you for having me on ISTV.
I can see how happy you are.
Very, very excited.
Yes.
It's good seeing us doing great business. Honestly, it's something that we've not seen in a while. So it means that these guys are ready for next season. There are no jokes.
No jokes.
But for United, we still have till September, so there is no hitch.
Yeah. No ish. Margaret is in the building. I want to welcome this man as well too. He's going to give us the lowdown of women. Women World Cup is slooming. It's coming soon. Very near in July. It's around the corner. He's going to talk about also. I'm talking about Robbie. He's going to talk about Nigerian League. What is going on? I'm going to welcome him with this music. Robbie, talk to me. Are you ready? Robbie, talk to me. What's going on, bro? Live. You're live, Robbie.
Good evening to you, the Dawn. Good evening to Maggie and Okwe. It's good to be on the show once again. I tell you, it's been a while. It's good to be on the show. Where do I even start from? Let me start from the Women's World Cup because there's a lot of drama going right here in Nigeria. And what happened?
Really?
Yes, a lot of drama. Let me just quickly sum it up. The summary of the drama is the NFF, they are fighting with the Nigerian national team coach. That is Randy Wilder, because there have been a lot of accusations back and forth between the federation and the coach. So, and as it is right now, everybody's just waiting to see what happens after the World Cup. For the Nigerian League, a lot is happening with the Nigerian League. For the first time in a very long time, we have a date that the Nigerian League is set to start, and the date is in August. Wow. So we are waiting to see if there's going to be a shift or not, but so far so good, everything looks good. There's a tournament called the Super 8, which is set to start, that is next weekend. That is more or less like the preseason to the start of the league in Nigeria. So that is more or less the latest going on as regards football on the local scene right here in Nigeria. But overall, it's been very beautiful vibes. It's been wonderful, wonderful content across board. And of course, we are right here for definitely much more updates when they come around.
All right, he's in the building. Let me welcome with this music, with his vibes. I know he's happy. He's an Arsenal fan. You are joining us tonight. Arsenal spending serious money, serious business. I lost him there. Maybe he's going to come in back again. Kunle, what's going on in Oshodi? I hear in Oshodi right now. It's very, very beautiful. There's money everywhere on the floor of Oshodi building, Oshodi axis. They are throwing dollars on the floor. Is that right, Kunle? So much money around right now. Kunle, talk to me. Can you hear me live and clear? Are you alive, Kunle? I couldn't hear Kunle there. All right, Kunle. All right, Kunle, can you hear me loud and clear? I think your mic is...
Yes, I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you, the Don. Good evening.
Right. I heard that they're throwing dollars on the street of Oshodi right now. Is that true? True or false? Talk to me.
If they were throwing dollars, I would definitely love to be there. But yeah, Oshodi is bubbling. There's a lot of partying around. Everyone is still in the festive. Still in the festive period. So it's really bubbling in Oshodi tonight.
All right, talk to me. You are live. Arsenal is spending serious buruku money right now. Are you happy? I'm sure you are happy. You have Rice. You have Timber is coming. You have come on, talk to me. You must win league next season, or else we'll come for you. Talk to me. You're welcome to the show.
It's a good time to be an Arsenal fan. I remember 2015 transfer window for July, August. The only player Arsenal brought in was Peter Cech for a paltry £10 million. So right now, if we're signing players starting early enough in June, June, and we're getting the business done and trying to focus on in preparation to the season. Pre-season, I feel it's a good one. Pre-season, I feel it's a good one. Good time to be an Arsenal fan, because really we've went through a lot in terms of, most especially the summer transfer window, where we have to wait and wait and wait. I think the closeness to this was when we signed Ozil. I think the whole fan base went into a frenzy. But right now, seeing the quality of players that we're bringing in, I think it's good. And I still don't understand the pressure that we must win the league, we must win something. I really don't understand. It's a project. We're taking it a step apace. I mentioned it last season, even when everything went bizarre for Arsenal and Manchester City toppled us over. I said we are on the up, because if you look at where we've started since Arteta took over 2019-2020 season, mid-2019-2020 season, you could see, if you look at data, if you look at stats, you could see that the next place that we're going to is up. So however next season is going to play out, I just want to support Arsenal and I wish them the very best. It's good to be on the show today.
All right, you can hear from this spokesman. Let's get the party started. It's going to be massive. But first, let's look at the quick debates quickly. I'm going to start with you. Okwe. Okwe, talk to me. USA'94 or OLYMPIC'96? Which one do you go for? Which one will you like? USA'94 or the Olympic? Over to you, Okwe. Talk to me.
I'm going to go for USA'94 because of one reason. Only one reason. Dodo Mayana. That has to be the major reason for me. Dodo Mayana is the X factor for me in that USA'94 team. So I would go for him.
All right,
I'll go for USA'94. Yeah.
All right. You remember when Rashidi Yekini scored that first goal for Nigeria? Hands into the net. You remember? Massive day.
Shook the net so much, and it has become what will I call it now? It's become an iconic goal celebration.
Yes, absolutely. And big up and rest in peace, Rashidi Yekini. And let's move on. I'm going to ask you, Robbie, talk to me. Which one? USA 94 Olympic. But I have to tell you, I choose Olympic 96. In fact,
I'll go for Olympic 96.
Tell me reason why. Talk to me. Why?
Yes, and I'll give you the reason why. Because the Olympic 96 is the embodiment of the never die spirit or never say die spirit of Nigerian football and Nigerians as a whole. And I will take in particular the semi-final game against Brazil and the final game against Argentina. The semi-final game against Brazil, that is one memory that will always live with me, because if I can't remember how old I was, I think I was like maybe 12 or thereabout then. And I remember precisely that Nigeria was 3-1 behind as of halftime. And everybody on my street, right here in Ibadan, every single house in my street had put off their TV and everybody had gone to bed. Everybody. And I remember that I think it was also our neighbor that was still watching. I don't know what he was looking for. When it was 3-2, he shouted goal. And everybody was like, maybe it's Brazil that scored and the scoreline was 4-1. Then when Nigeria equalized and it was 3-3, he started screaming. He came out on the street and he was screaming, Nigeria has equalized, and everybody as in, you could see the energy on the street. Everybody was busy scrambling for their TVs just to watch it. And truly, Nigeria ended up winning that game 4-3, courtesy of Nwako Kanu. That was one of the things that also made him a fan favorite, or more or less a legend to Nigerian fans. And I tell you, it was beautiful things all over. And that match, as well as the match against Argentina, became more or less like an iconic clip that NTA used back then. So for me, I think I'll stick with Olympic 96.
Olympic 96. That's for Robbie. Olympic 96. So it's 1-1. Upward choose USA 94, Olympic 96 for Robbie. I'm going to ask Ace, talk to me. Which one you go for, USA 94 or the Olympics? That's a quick debate. Talk to me, Ace. Which one are you going to go for?
Yeah, quick one. I'm going to go for... Man, this is like, it's tricky, really, because on face value, I would go for the 96 Eagles because they did it at the world stage. They did it at the biggest stage. Even if the Olympic is not a FIFA recognized or FIFA graded, I don't know, let me choose the right word. It's not, you can't compare the Olympic in the ilk of the World Cup or the FIFA World Club Cup. It's just a tournament, it's just a football tournament in the Olympics every 4 years. And if you notice, the 96 squad is quite younger than the 94 squad. It's because then in the Olympics they gave freedom for you to pick 3 senior players to join the squad. So the 96 squad was an offshoot of the under 20s or under 19s in 1994. The 1994 squad was fantastic. They sent shivers down the spines of their opponents, especially in Africa. When you're playing Super Eagles, be ready for a beatdown. I think the only team that gave them troubles then was Ghana and Cameroon. In 1992 Nations Cup, even in the 90s, Algiers 90, they lost the final. 1992, they lost the semi-final to Ghana. They met Cameroon in the third place match. 1994, they went ahead to win the final against Zambia. And 1996, due to political reasons, which I don't want to go into here, they couldn't go for South Africa 96, and also they didn't go for Burkina Faso 98. I think that was when the flame or the heat, the 1994 squad, which we know, the core, Finidi George, Yekini, Amonike, Amokachi, Rufai, Uche Okechukwu, Olise, they couldn't carry on. But the 96 Eagles came together, the young lads. The only guys that joined was Olise, Okechukwu, and I think Emmanuel Amonike, the 3 overgrown players. And you could see the core, the spine of that team was Kanu Nwankwo, the goalkeeper, Dosu Joseph, Okocha, to the up front, Beba and the likes. And they were able to do the unthinkable. Like Robbie just said, 1996, I was quite young then. My father was my mentor. He was the one that made me start watching football. We were all awake because of the match. Because due to time difference, we had to stay awake. 3-1, my dad didn't agree to switch off the TV. were all there. Neighbors that came into our flat to watch the match, then they all disappeared. But myself and my dad were awake. I was quite young then, and the 3-1, the comeback, the 4-3, the Argentina game in the final. So for me, I would pick the 1996 squad because they took it up there to that level, to the highest level, where they played quality opponents in Brazil. They played Brazil twice. They lost in the group stage and also won in the semi-final. They played Argentina, a very good squad. Crespo, Lopez, Ortega. So I will pick the 1996. But I'm not taking a shade at the 1994 squad. I give them the respect. But in terms of quality, in terms of taking it to the next level, I give it to the 96 squad.
All right. I tell you, it's going to be loud tonight. Please smash the like on the video. I tell you, it's going to be going down. Kule, talk to me. Which one are you going for? USA 94 of the Olympics. I know you are going to. I know what you want to choose. Can I tell you?
Say it.
I don't know. You tell me.
I'm going for the 1994 World Cup squad.
Wow.
I like his submission, which he was very correct, in fact. But I like the points he gave, that some of the points that he gave, that the Olympics is not recognized, it's not sanctioned by FIFA. It doesn't give point, maybe it doesn't give points in the rankings and all, and it's a youth tournament, right? Now for me, because it's a youth tournament, I feel it's kind of like an open field, right?
Yeah.
Because these are young players coming together. So like motivation, determination and all of that is sometimes at its highest. But when it comes to senior level, it's different because their career paths now go, in a different direction, right? And if we look at that 1994 squad, look at Nigeria's group. Nigeria were in a group that contained Bulgaria, that had this, what's his name? This guy that played for Barcelona, Stoichkov. Who was at the prime of it. He was one of the best players in the world at that time. And we beat Bulgaria in the first game 1-0. So that was huge. You understand? And then let's not forget, Argentina was equally in our group. That was where the this meeting Argentina. I don't know why FIFA will always put. I mean, we've played Argentina so many times, but that was the first time, right? And this was a team that had the best of best players. Yeah. I mean, Diego Maradona was still playing at that time. I think, if my memory serves me right, I think he was there, if I'm right. So, that was a bigger deal. He didn't. Okay. Okay.
Greece and
he was banned.
Okay, he was already banned by that time. Yes. Yeah. Because but still, it still showed that. I mean, Argentina were the finalists in 1990, and they were 1986 champions. So that was a very, very big group, and Nigeria were actually able to scale through. And Nigeria could have actually gone all the way to the quarterfinals, and defeated Italy. I just feel it was rather unfortunate. So that was, for me, a very, very big achievement, because that was, let's not forget, that was our very first time at the World Cup. You understand? And for them to have impressed that way, that's why you can see till today, there's still always reference to that 1994 World Cup. Even when we want to talk about Super Eagles doing better than they are at the moment, we would always look back to that 1994 moment, because it still remains like the pinnacle of Nigerian football. So for me, it's definitely the 1994 World Cup squad.
All right, you can hear that from Kunle. Kunle going for USA 94. I'm sure. I think I have Nubia Prince with us. Nubia Prince, which one are you going to go for? I'm talking about USA 94 or the Olympics. Talk to me. Nubia Prince in the building.
Yeah, good evening, guys. It's nice to get things done. For me, I think the 1994 squad, I think the top six for me. Yes, you could argue that the 1996 Olympic squad was pretty good, but again, the 1994 squad did it at the global stage, and for me, it's not huge. But all the same, I'm not going to push away the 1990 the Atlanta 96 squad, because we actually defeated some heavyweights, especially that Brazilian Olympic squad. You can't take it away. A squad that has a Ronaldo de Lima, that had a Bebeto. That is definitely a joke. And the way we even came back from 3-1 to actually win 4-3, I would say that the inexperience that cost us in 1994 was worked upon in 1996. So for me, I think I'll go with 1996.
1996. Well, for me, I'm going for Olympic 1996. I think I love sports that night. It was a massive
I think the 96 won it.
Yeah, 96 won this. All right, 96 won this. Now let's move on. I thought I lost Maggie there. Maybe she will come back and tell us our own opinion. Right now, today's sports paper talk. Robbie, Kilon Shelen paper, talk to me. Robbie.
Nothing much is actually going in the paper talk except the fact that Arsenal are more or less leading the table when it comes to the transfer of players, and of course, I think they've been able to do some very beautiful business. Yes, there's this debate as regards is Kai Havertz worth the 65 million pounds that Arsenal paid Chelsea for him. Is what's the name? Is Kai Havertz a good player? And I don't know, some sections of Arsenal fans are a little bit jittery and fearful of what Kai Havertz will bring to the setup of Arsenal. But I am of this school of thought that why not just trust the coach and wait and let us see what this man does. Yes, he didn't do well at Chelsea. It doesn't mean that he definitely will not do well at Arsenal. He's going to do well. That is my own personal thought. For United, well, it seems United have been able to break the jinx because they've gotten a Mason Mount after a lot of back and forth as regards the money and so on and so forth. There's also the issue of David De Gea leaving the club and United asking about Andre Onana. Thankfully, Inter Milan are not putting something very, very huge or big on Andre Onana's head. I think what they want is about 55 to 60 or about million pounds for the goalkeeper. So I really don't think that should be an issue for United if that is the goalkeeper they want to go for. For Chelsea, they've signed an unknown player, Michael Jackson, from Villarreal, and I'm just like, maybe breakdance is what we're going to be seeing at Stamford Bridge. They've also signed one Angelo. That is a Brazilian-born player as well. Manchester City, only Kovacic is in. And of course, they're looking at other players. But I think all around, it is just good business in the transfer market. The only issue is just the fee for Declan Rice, £105 million. That is the agreement between Arsenal and West Ham for the English midfielder. So with that,
not too much.
Don't worry. Let the guy sort that one out. I think
I'm coming for
Man City just helped them push that. I think Man City just helped them push that amount up.
I'm coming to Okwe for that. Okwe, please talk to me. There's this message trending at this moment that it's a big signing. Does it worth it? I'm talking about Declan Rice price. Okwe, talk to me, please, to your law. Why are you guys paying all this kind of money? Talk to me. Okwe, the building. It's happy.
It's funny that you asked me this question.
Yeah.
I was interviewed earlier today, and this was the major subject of the discourse I had. And really, if we think about it, the Premier League and the FA and Premier League clubs have always given high value to bright English talents. Now, when I say the Premier League in particular, because this trend started during the Premier League era, the first time it happened, or the first time we can say most people took notice of it, was when Rio Ferdinand, first of all, left West Ham for Leeds United. At that time, Rio Ferdinand became the most expensive centre-back. It happened again when Manchester United signed Rio Ferdinand from Leeds United. He became the most expensive English player at that time, and also became the most expensive defender at that time. Then we trickled down to 2004, when David Beckham left for Real Madrid. The trend continued a year later. Michael Owen left for Real Madrid as well. He became the most expensive. So, and it obviously went all the way down to the most successful out of all these big price tag players, which is Gareth Bale for me. Gareth Bale did extremely well at Real Madrid, won 4 Champions League trophies, won 3 Club World Cups, won 2 La Ligas. What else do you want from the man? You know, he delivered. So is Declan Rice worth 105 million?
Yes,
pounds?
That's the question. Yeah.
I think we would answer that question at the end of the season if Arsenal produce big trophies. It's as simple as that. That's what's going to determine it. After the Champions League final, in an interview with CBS, Jack Grealish said it to both Thierry Henry, Jamie Carragher, and Micah Richards. He knows he's not worth 100 million pounds. He said it himself. But after having such a terrible first season, coming into the second season, he knew that he needed to prove his worth. He said he couldn't avoid the price tag, the thought of the price tag. However, he tried his best, and then, he was able to deliver under Pep's new system. So I think to answer right now and to say that Declan Rice is worth 110 million or 105 million pounds, I would be wrong. But then I can answer that question at the end of the season.
Want to shift. It's
the truth. But then again, in terms of business, to finish off, in terms of business, I believe Spurs had the best signing. If Leicester City were still in the Premier League today, there is no way that James Maddison is going for 40 million pounds. But because Leicester City relegated, Tottenham got the best out of that deal. So I believe that's been the best piece of business done so far. Kovacic to Manchester City, absolutely fantastic. You have a player Kovacic who is a bit more dogged than Gundogan when it comes to defending. Although you will miss that attacking threat from Ilkay Gundogan, but there is nothing that Pep Guardiola cannot do when it comes to player growth and development. So if Pep said he wants Mate, I believe he's going to upgrade him into a much better player than Ilkay Gundogan was. So that's my take on that.
All right, I'm going to ask Aiz, are you happy with the signing so far in Arsenal? Considering the fact you guys are spreading pepper everywhere. You already have your rice and beans, and also you already have that Kai, you already have him, and also Timber is also around the corner. So many players that been showed the way to Arsenal. Talk to me. Are you happy, Aiz, with this? Talk to me, Aiz.
Well, I'm just going to try to echo. I'm going to try to echo Okwe's thoughts, really, because if you look at a player in the ilk of Rice, Declan Rice, if a team like Man City, Bayern Munich, Arsenal is gunning for your signature, I feel there is a bit of what's the word? There's a bit of the word just failed me now. There's a bit of
genius in him.
Genius in him. Yes, that maybe genius is not the word I'm looking for, but thank you for that. There's a bit of genius. There's a bit of a spark that you could light up, and the next thing it turns the whole world into something else. He played under David Moyes for the past how many years? With all due respect to David Moyes might not be that manager that can bring out the best in him and take him to the next level, because what a player like Declan Rice should be looking out for is that player that will take him from where he is at the moment to the next level. And with all due respect to Arteta, we see what he has done with Saka, Martinelli, Saliba, Gabriel. We can see what he has done. He's not that kind of person that talks the talk. When he talks, he walks the talk as well. We could see what he has been able to do, despite how he narrowly lost the EPL, or foolishly, let me use that word, to Man City. Yes, last season, because he didn't have to, maybe because of experience, he didn't have that experience at that crunch time to do what he's expected to do. But I hope he learns. But for Declan Rice to have been signed by Arsenal, I would just want to chill and wait and see what Arteta brings out of him. I know he has that potential, and him coming to Arsenal, that potential will be turned into something kinetic, will be turned into something, that would take Arsenal to the next level. He can play multiple roles in that midfield. He can play as a 6, he can play as an 8, he can play as a 4. And Arteta has always mentioned that the players he wants to bring in are players that can play multiple roles, that can play different roles, and offer the best to the team. So I wish for Kai Havertz, like I said, the 65 million, a lot of people have said so many things. Even Bayern Munich too wanted Kai Havertz, if I'm not mistaken. And there's something most of the agents use to, it's called a bargaining chip. they use it to value their players. Kai Havertz is a former Champions League winner, a former World Club winner, a former, I don't know if he won the EPL with Chelsea, if my stats have me right, so let me don't say that. And so these are all the things they use in bargaining. And also, basically, I'm sure they sold that amount. A lot of people say it's a rip-off, but there's quality in there as well. If you see Kai Havertz play, if you see what he's done, it's a pity all of a sudden Chelsea fans are beginning to sound so ridiculous, are beginning to sound like muppets, like babies, that, hey, thank God Kai Havertz is gone. But a few years back down the line, when this guy was at Chelsea, when he scored the winning goal against Man City in the Champions League final, he was lauded as the next big thing. All of a sudden, because of 1-2 bad season, all of a sudden he's no more, so send him away. But I know Arteta sees quality in Kai Havertz. Like I said, I'm not too really thrilled by that signing, but I'm just going to trust Arteta on this one and see how it goes. But the 105 on Declan Rice, even though it's not signed yet, even it's not gone over the line yet, I don't know what is holding it up. I feel English players, they are always overpriced. And Okpe just did an analysis, has given us an analysis of where it started from 2005, 2006, thereabout, the trend. So I am not surprised. So I just, fingers crossed, let's see what the new season brings for us, and let's watch.
All right, let's watch. That's what is all Arsenal fans are saying. Okay, I'm going to ask you one question. What kind of formation do you think Arsenal is going to file out? You already have Kai. You are now having Declan Rice. How is the formation going to look like, starting from the goalkeeper, Ramsdale? Now, talk to me. How do you want the lineup to look like? Because the viewers want to hear, how do you feel it's going to look like? You should have sent me I don't know whether you have the, there's a template you always send.
Yes, I'll send that to you.
I wish you can send it to me immediately and put it on the screen. Is this what you're expecting? Is that what you'll be expecting? I want to see the lineup starting from the goalkeeper, Ramsdale. I think you showed me one. So
while I'm sending it to you, I can talk our viewers through. All
right. Please go ahead.
So for me, the major reason why I see Arteta shaping up the team in this manner next season is because of the signing of Kai Havertz. Now, for me, I've known Kai Havertz since he broke through the academy at Bayer Leverkusen, and both Bayer Leverkusen and the German FA at that time were grooming Kai Havertz to be the next Mesut Ozil, right?
Right.
And we all know that Mesut Ozil is a 10, is a proper 10, and the good thing that Kai Havertz had ahead of Ozil at that time during his formative years was the fact that he could score goals. He could always find the back of the net compared to Mesut Ozil. Now, Havertz joined Chelsea. He was turned into a striker. Once in a while, he played off the striker behind on the left and the right.
Yeah.
And then for me, what I see that Arteta wants to do with Havertz is to play him in the midfield, and that confirmed, and that thought process of mine was confirmed after Kai Havertz was officially announced by Arsenal, and Arteta dropped his comments. And even on Arsenal's website currently, Kai Havertz is listed as a midfielder. So the signing of Kai Havertz, to me, it just means that Arteta wants to play the same type of system that Pep Guardiola deployed towards the end of last season. It's going to be, as far as I am concerned, I see it as a 3 at the back system, where you have Kai Havertz as one of the 4 forwards just behind Gabriel Jesus.
Something like this, yeah?
Yes, exactly. So something like this. You would have situations whereby Ben White might be dropped for Jurrien Timber, because Timber as well can play as an inverted fullback. So this formation with a 3 at the back, this is what it will look like going forward. Defending, it will be a 4 at the back because it is so easy. You would have Zinchenko coming in, slot back at left back. You have Gabriel and Saliba as the 2 centre backs and Ben White in midfield. Apart from Zinchenko playing in this position, if Zinchenko is not available, you could also have someone like Jurrien Timber just beside Declan Rice. He can slot in that position easily. So Arsenal would have options. The options will be there in surplus. You can also see the second team as well.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull it up, but it's not going.
Exactly. So Arteta is a great philosopher of Pep's style of football as well, and I know that he also has his own ideas. But this is the way I see this.
Let me just chip in something. Sorry, okay. I think Zinchenko might be put out. It might go down the pecking order because if you look at last season, Zinchenko was an Achilles heel. It was more like our weak point. Is the weak point. And if you see the last 2-3 games, especially against Wolves, you saw what he played against Wolves at home. So I see Zinchenko going down the pecking order. Maybe Zinchenko will start in cup games, but when it comes to the league or Champions League, I saw something about Timber being able to play left back or right back. I don't know. Is that true?
I think it's right back.
That's true. Julian Timber can play across anywhere in defense. Very, very solid player.
Can I chip in something, guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
Please.
Oh, Nobia Prince is there. Arsenal fan to the core, to the bone, to the flesh. Is breathing Arsenal. Talk to me.
Yeah.
Are you happy with this lineup?
For me, I think
it's Arsenal day. Talk to me.
Yeah, Julian Timber can only play as either a right back or a right-sided centre back. He can't play left back. And I think regardless, Zinchenko will still play in that team. In fact, I think what Arteta is trying to do with Julian Timber is what he has seen with Zinchenko, ability to invert. Julian Timber can also invert like Zinchenko. So, in that, you know that when we don't have Zinchenko, we lose a bit of creativity in that midfield, owing to his ability to invert. So now, in the absence of Zinchenko, Tierney comes in, Julian Timber will now be able to replicate what Zinchenko does on the left, on the right. I think that's what Julian Timber is absolutely coming to do. And also, Tomiyasu is too injury prone. So now, with Julian Timber, he can compete with Tomiyasu. Now, we can have Ben White coming to actually, compete with Saliba as a right centre back. Unlike last season, let's not forget that Odin has left. So unlike last season when Saliba got injured and we had to play at some point, we had to play Kivio, who is a left centre back, to Pierre Gabriel, even though Odin was fit and ready to play, but he was not trusted after that Manchester City massacre. So now you have a Ben White that can actually displace a Saliba or a Julian Timber that can displace a Saliba. All in all, it's all about having more options. And of course, to correct an information, this guy, Rio Ferdinand, actually left Leeds United for Man U, not actually West Ham. It was
became a legend.
Yeah, it was West Ham to Bournemouth to Leeds United, and Leeds United to Manchester United. All in all, I think Declan Rice will do well at Arsenal. Yes, the 105 looks huge, but when we look at the potentials, this is someone that is just 24. At 24, he's already an English international. They don't joke with that. At 24, he's already captain of West Ham United. So he has loads of experience. And of course, the fact that he does not need to adapt into a new league, I think that's basic. That's huge. He's coming in and he can slot in almost immediately, because if you bring in somebody from outside, maybe from Italy, you can come into the Premier League and start struggling. You saw what this guy is doing with Liverpool. I'm talking about that we knew that he bought for 100 million. He's still trying to always from another English side, you slot in straight. So I think all of that, put all of that in, you understand why he's going for £105 million. Aston Villa actually built 100 million. Not as if Jaglish was fantastic player, but he was their best player. And for clubs like that, for modern clubs like that, they don't tend to face world beaters. So whenever they actually succeed,
I'm losing you there. You're breaking
so that they can use that to shape that. And that was exactly what Aston Villa did with Jaglish. From the money of Jaglish, so I expect the same thing from West Ham. Let's see if West Ham willing to pay that they can actually make some.
All right. Don, sorry. Don, let me quickly milk a moment of fame. Besides it's an Arsenal show, right? I just want to let me just quickly say something about what Nubia Prince. I agree with what you say wholly, but I just feel next season, if we're still putting Zinchenko, I know Okwe can hear me. If we're still looking at, if Arteta is still looking at putting Zinchenko in that first 11, that is going just to be like our kryptonite. It's going to be our Achilles heel. It's going to be our weak points. Let me use all the adjective because Zinchenko was targeted last season. When it got to the crunch time, it was him. It was his role. He was targeted, and teams got advantage using that space. So
yeah,
I don't know if Arteta is watching this. I'm not saying Zinchenko is not integral to whatever he's trying to set up for next season. But the simple advice is, come on, you can't use Zinchenko. Starting Zinchenko in the first 11. I know he's a good player. In the league,
so who are you going to use there?
So I would like to answer the
well,
the fear of both his.
No, it's not the fear. It's not the fear. It's reality.
It is reality.
It's not fear. It's not fear.
Robbie, don't worry. Let them do themselves.
Try to understand what I'm saying. Try to understand what I'm saying. You know, it's what you can see. When you say fear, you're not even saying it, but you're scared it will happen. But at least we've seen it played out. Zinchenko is lightweight. You want to put him in the defense, he's lightweight. You want to put him in that midfield, he's lightweight. Maybe Zinchenko can come in when you want to keep hold of the ball. Maybe you're leading 3-0, 3-1, 4-1. You want to keep control of the game. You want to stifle your opponent off possession. That's when you can bring Zinchenko in. For me, I saw why Pep had to just quickly, pack his bag and let him go. He is a good player, but he has his limits. So if you want to put Zinchenko as part of the starting 11, that's Arteta, I beg of him, he should please rescind that decision and look for alternative. Rice can play in that position. Rice can play better in that position. You don't have to necessarily use this formation. We saw it last game of the season. Zinchenko didn't play. We saw how he used it, and the team played fine. So I feel we should walk away from that Zinchenko narrative.
All right, let me quickly.
Sorry, Didon.
Oh my goodness! On a final
note on this, right? Sorry. On a final note on this, the truth is that what can just solve this is a simple change in tactics. Now, let's not forget that this system of football allows one of the two sitting DMs to go back into a back four when they are defending. It can easily be Declan Rice, because I'm very sure that the only reason why Pep wanted
Zinchenko can defend.
No, you didn't listen to what I said. I said one of the two. So I'm saying that Zinchenko does not need to drop back into the back four. It can be Declan Rice, and then you push Gabriel to the left. It is that simple. I say that because we've seen clearly that Arteta likes a left-sided midfield. Now that Granit Xhaka is gone, you have Havertz, who is going to be a whole lot more offensive compared to him. So if we are defending, you can have Declan Rice come back into the back four, and Odegaard and Zinchenko are together in the middle. So it depends. That's a very great way to curb the defensive excesses of Zinchenko.
All right, guys.
Mark my word.
All right,
mark my word.
Let me say,
Zinchenko will be our Achilles heel next season.
I have this breaking news. 22-year-old forward joins from Villarreal on 8-year deal. His name is Jackson. Jackson is a Chelsea fan. And on that note, I'm going to welcome this great man with this applaud coming up to join us. Yo! Chelsea, my name is Jackson. Are you happy? That's the first thing. Prof,
thank you very much. Thank you.
Also, the second question I'm going to ask you tonight. Do you see Arsenal winning the league this season? Talk to me. Do you see Arsenal winning the league? And also, talk to me. I can't hear you, Prof, talk to me. Don't lose me.
And just quickly on the Arsenal team.
All right. Talk to me.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yes. So I said, just quickly on the Arsenal team before I go to the breaking news concerning Chelsea. I think, like you asked me, I don't think they will because of Pep. But looking at the amount that they've spent so far since Arteta got there, I think it's well over $500 million, and that's now has to put a lot of pressure on him. I think it's his fourth season, and his challenge has come close last season. Arsenal's season last season reminded me of when Mourinho came back, second coming of Mourinho, 2013-2014, when he called Chelsea the Little Horses, and he went to buy 3 players: Cesc Fabregas, Diego Costa. He brought back Didier Drogba, and he won the title 14-15. It's similar to what Arsenal have done now. They've broken the bank. They've signed Declan Rice, Havertz, who I think, who I consider, for me, a leprosy signing. I call it a leprosy signing. I think it's a signing that Arteta shouldn't have meddled with, because it comes with a lot of pressure. He has shown that he's not good enough for the Premier League. His body language is not good enough. He loses chances. He's no Granit Xhaka. If Rice drops back in defense, they will be exposed. This formation that Okwe has put together, it looks nice on paper. They will be exposed defensively seriously if they decide to use formation, because Havertz is no Xhaka. I watched Granit Xhaka making some last-ditch edge of the box tackles that Odegaard and Havertz will never be able to do. So they still have to. I don't think Arteta will go with this. I think it will be a little bit more solid defensively. But aside that, he has spent a lot of money. Arsenal fans, they've been dreaming of this day, the day their club will be able to compete financially in the market, and they've gotten what they wanted. So now it's time for their manager to go out and challenge, properly win the Premier League now. They have to win the Premier League now, because they've he has been back. They came close last season. They spent a lot of money, and I think the jury is out now for Arteta to prove. I think if he doesn't win it, like I predicted earlier when I was in my write-up in the group, if he doesn't win it, or if he comes second, it's still okay. But if it comes anything other than second, I think the Arsenal fans that I know are calling for his head, and rightly so.
Especially
Chelsea and the breaking news.
Breaking news.
Well, we knew it was coming. So Jackson, 35, I think about 30-something million release clause. I think is a good signing, keeping up with what Todd Boehly, said he was going to do. I think when he came, it was a scattered approach. A lot of people said they didn't know what he was doing. But now we can see that the team is now tailor-made in the direction that the club wants to go. Creating these brilliant talents all over the world, and tailoring them in a proper way with a good manager. When somebody, some people, I was talking to somebody yesterday. I said, do they know the club that Real Madrid signed Rodrigo from and Vinicius Junior from? So it's that sort of approach that Chelsea are doing now. So it's a project. It's something that's going to come up. I saw it when Bully came and said he was going to do that. I was excited because it was different from what Roman used to do. Roman was going for much ready-made players. But this is a sustainable approach. Look at what Vinicius Junior is worth now. Look at what Rodrigo is worth now. So that's what Chelsea is doing. And I think, welcome Jackson. He's not going to hit the ground running. He will need time on the training ground to watch. But I think I like the signing. It was player of the month in Spain last season, 10 goals in 8 games towards the back end of the last season. So he's a man in form. So let's see what we do on the board.
All right, that's for Chelsea.
Done. Just a minute.
Hold on. We are still
Don, just sorry for the purpose of our listeners. I just feel we need to put what is right out there. There is no jury. No jury is out on Arteta. There is no rush, no pressure.
No pressure.
Because the owner, we all know the owner. We could let's just. I think we need to speak with facts and data here. We could look back to the teams that he owns. He doesn't just own Arsenal Football Club. He owns the Denver Nuggets. He owns the Colorado Rush, Colorado Mammoths, St. Louis Rams, Los Angeles Gladiators, Los Angeles Guerrillas. We see how he has picked up these teams that were not competing at all. They were not even close to winning laurels in any of their leagues. And we're seeing how he has worked patiently with these teams. Denver Nuggets are the NBA champions. We see how he has worked diligently with these teams. In years, being patient with whoever he has put in there. They've been diligent in putting people that is manning their business, manning these teams. So signing Arteta, we all frowned, but we now see the projection. We now see how they've been diligent in their signing. So just to put out there, because of the purpose of our listeners listening, there is no pressure. I'm an Arsenal fan and I can speak as an Arsenal fan. There is no pressure on Arteta. There is no jury that is out. He would continue to be backed until they achieve what they want. The owners keep saying it, that the Arsenal race is a project. It's not a rush. So if they are backing him right now and spending the whole money, it doesn't mean the next thing he has to do is to win the league. This is not Chelsea. This is not Chelsea Football Club that they run things like military.
Or Manchester United.
Exactly. So it is a project. So
All
even
right.
if Arteta don't fail to win the Premier, even if he fails not to win the Premiership, he will still be backed. It's a project, and it's a step.
Project. We did here. We did here next season. No, Prof, hold on. One second. Just trust me. 1 second. Maggie! Manchester United, finally! We have Messi Mount in the building. Messi Mount coming to Manchester United. Do you think it's a very good signing? Are we going to win the league next season? Oh, sorry. Are we going to...
Didon. Yeah, Messi Mount coming to Manchester United is actually a good one. A good deal, but saying winning the league for now is actually far-fetched. United shouldn't actually think about that, but if peradventure along the line they plays very well and then the league they win the league, actually nothing is wrong with that. But for United to win the league, they need to get more players, not just Messi Mount. They need to get players, need to get a striker, need to get another fantastic midfielder, and also a goalkeeper. Because for now, we know in that particular area, the manager is actually not really impressed with David De Gea, and so he would want to get his own kind of goalkeeper, kind of a ball-playing goalkeeper. He would want to get that one. And then when you look at the midfield, apart from Casemiro and then maybe Bruno, who are you going to?
Maggie, I can't hear you right now. What's going on? Where are you? Are you in the market? Maggie is taking me to where I don't know. Talk to me. Robbie! Flying. Robbie, flying. I lost Margaret there.
Let me just quickly help Maggie wrap up her point.
How the midfield is well managed or well looking.
Clumsy there. Maggie, I barely hear you. I don't know what's going on. Are you in the market? Buying things?
Okay, let me just quickly wrap up her point. I don't
United.
I don't think United will win the league next season. Can they compete for top 4? I think it's very possible. But right now, the team is in total disarray, and there seems to be no direction as regards where the team is headed to right now. You can see a trajectory that is with Man City. You can see a trajectory with Arsenal. You can see a trajectory with Chelsea. And look at the way Chelsea has even been able to more or less disengage the services of the players that have left the club. Swift, fast, and decisive. United has not been able to do that. Hence why I said the team is in total disarray at this point in time. So winning the league, I think, should not even crop up in any discussion of any sort, because it will not happen. It will not happen.
Believe! Boy said believe!
And the truth is, getting their transfer business sorted out as fast as possible will only help the team better in preparation for the league. Because I tell you, teams like Tottenham Hotspur, I can't remember who talked about James Maddison. It was a very big buy. I think it was Okwe that talked about James Maddison. It was a very crucial buy for Tottenham Hotspur, and it was due to the fact that Leicester City were relegated. This was one player at the point in time they said they were not going to sell. But due to their current situation, they just had to let him go. And a couple of other players will also leave the club. So for United, getting a goalkeeper is top priority. Getting backups, most especially for their defense, especially when the likes of Varane and Lisandro Martinez are injured, is also very important. For the midfield, they still need competition in that place. McTominay, Fred, and what was the name, will not take United anywhere. That is when they play against teams with proper and better midfielders. And I will point it out, a case like Arsenal and Manchester City, United will struggle against those two teams this season. They will struggle against them. In attack, Thank God your Vegas or whatever it is gone. But even Rashford will get tired, and United need backups in that place. For Anthony, he's not reliable, he's not serious. For Jordan Sancho, he's not reliable and he's also not serious. So there are issues that the team really needs to address. That is just my submission.
All right, Kunle. Kunle, talk to me about this.
Yes.
I want you to balance this. Is it a good... you know, you're a Manchester United fan. If you look at your corridor, you know, when you are peeping to your neighbor, whether the person don't buy maybe a brand new car, you know, you peep. But boy, Ramoto, you know, that kind of feelings. How do you feel as a Manchester United? You know, Arsenal are building something, and I could see you know, chats back and forth. Can we still depend on if hold on, if Arteta didn't get it right? I'm sure he said no pressure, but we that are looking from outside, they are spending.
Yeah.
Do we look at next season as a yardstick again? That if Arsenal did not win anything, okay, I'm coming to you. If Arsenal did not win anything, do you actually see that? Come on. I mean,
you see, we need to put into context what winning is. Okay. Let me paint a scenario, right?
I'm listening.
So, what if Arsenal? Let's say Arsenal win the FA Cup and the League Cup, but they finish 5th or 6th. Does that make it a good season for them?
Nubia Prince will answer you. Is that a good season?
Because look, that's why I said the major thing, because that is always going to be the first priority. It is to make the top 4. Now, it seems maybe we seem to forget something, that the Premier League is like arguably the most competitive league in the world. Maybe it even is, because when you look at the number of people that we always make mention of, they should be in the race for the... I don't know of any league in the world where you have up to 6-7 names that you mention. And it's not possible. So when you say Arsenal must win the title, Manchester United must win the title, you now ask yourself, what now happens to Chelsea that is there? What happens to Manchester City? What happens to Liverpool? Because the truth is, you know, each club with different managers, with different approaches, with different budgets, you understand? So it's not going to be an easy thing. That is why in this scenario, the most important thing is always to make that top 4. Because when you make the top 4, it means that you can continually attract good players, good talent, even top talent. Because there is no top talent that will come and say he wants to play in the UEFA Europa Conference League. So that's why if you come now and say, okay, you won the FA Cup and you won the League Cup, right? But you didn't get the top 4. How are you going to? Will you get a Vinicius Junior, for instance? We're making mention about Vinicius Junior and Rodrigo, for instance, about how they developed and all. Is Vinicius Junior or Rodrigo going to come into a team that finishes 6th or 7th? So that's why the top 4. You understand? Now, what happens is, as long as you make the top 4, it ensures that race, you know, it keeps going. Because what happens is, the other teams, they have to be on their toes, right? Like now, you can see the way Arsenal have strengthened now with Declan Rice, one of the most talked about players, that is one of the best midfielders in the league. This one now will also want to make others react. And you can see, Liverpool have McAllister, Mason, what's it called? United have Mason Mount. You know, it keeps the competition going, right? It keeps,
Yeah. I agree with you. I've always said that I will go to the days of Wenger. Wenger will tell you this is the way he rates, you know, trophies. He rates the Premier League, of course, Champions League, FA Cup, top 4 finish, then of course the Carabao Cup. I don't rate the Carabao Cup, so I feel it's a waste of time. Now, but I say that. Yes, I say that.
But now the top 4 is more important than the FA Cup and EFL. You should remember that at that time when Wenger there was a steady top 4 of Manchester United, Arsenal, Liverpool, and Chelsea. But now you have Tottenham Hotspur and Manchester City in the mix. So top 4 is paramount for every manager. So for me, Seth, is even make the top 4. Oh, you see that I didn't even mention Newcastle. You can imagine. So you see what I'm saying. So that's 17.
What I was going to say is this. Now, Arsenal actually set a target for Arteta. Make top 4. Right. That was the KPI going into last season. He ended up finishing second. Now they've invested. They bought the
with no trophy.
Yeah, you said?
With no trophy.
The trophy was the goal was make top 4, get us back into Champions League. Now he's gotten the team back into Champions League. They've invested 200 million, literally. And who knows, they might still invest more, depending on sales. Now, the catch now is he finished second last season without not so much investment. Now, going from the team that finished second, he has added to it. He has added 200 million pounds worth of 3 players to it. Now, you are the minimum bar now.
170.
170.
No. Let's make the calculation. 105 for Declan Rice.
Yes.
65 million for Kai Havertz. Timber is 45 million.
Okay, but Timber is not sorted out yet, though. I get your point. Carry on. I get you.
Carry on.
Now the issue is this: if you finish second last season, now you are going to Champions League. The bar minimum is, I'm very sure, is at least maybe Champions League quarterfinals. Then of course you need to compete for the title. Even if you are going to lose the title, lose it to Manchester City. Don't lose the title to a Chelsea or to a yes, to Manchester United. Yes, Chelsea. Sorry, that's the honest truth. Chelsea, the way Chelsea are, it will take them at least 2 seasons to get themselves back. That's the honest truth. So don't lose the title to a Liverpool that will be playing Europa League. They have Europa League distractions to focus on. Don't lose the title to a Tottenham Hotspur that have a Postecoglou that is just coming in. Even if you have to lose the title to Manchester, and it has to be close. You cannot afford to lose the title with 3 games to spare or 4 games to spare. Maybe on the last day of the season. So you must show us that you've improved. It is not our fault that you finished second last season. You finished second.
Yeah, Prof, I want to ask you a question. Please, is there any question you want to ask? Is there any question you want to ask?
Yeah, before I ask,
yes,
I want to ask. Before I ask, I mean, I like what Newborn Prince said towards the end. For me, some of the things that Kunle said I was laughing here. I've followed football for a long time. I've seen Arsenal fans screaming about the fact that they didn't want top 4 anymore. Wenger was getting them top 4, right? Regularly. Yet they wanted him out. So it is not about top 4 anymore now. If you are second and you've been on the table on the top of the table for the longest period in Premier League history, and you don't win it, and you go after that season and spend over 200 million, the pressure is on you to win the Premier League. I don't care what anybody says. This is as simple as ABC. When you go and spend over 200 million and attack, you're close to the Premier League title. You know where you need to fix. It's a puzzle. That's how it works. Saka is sorted. Martinelli is sorted. You have Jesus. You have Ben White. You know that Partey might leave. So you sorted that you brought in one of the best in the country in Rice. And then you've gone to spend 65 million on Havertz, and you are ready to win the Premier League. There's no need to hide mouth or do anything. They are going there to challenge for the Premier League. Anything other than that will be seen as a failure. That is the fact. That is the fact of the matter. There's no need. So that is it. So I know all these talks, all these talks, it's music to my ears.
Okay, do you agree with this?
Yeah. That's the gospel truth. That's the gospel truth.
John, I have something to say after our talk.
I want to talk.
I'm going to say something after.
The truth is what Prof has said.
Well, don't worry,
because
don't worry.
This same verdict or this same criteria for giving out this verdict, we've done it to big teams in the past. Liverpool, United, Man City. It's the truth. When you spend X amount of money on players, you expect them to perform and to do the needful. This is one reason why we've criticized Pep Guardiola for so long. We've said Pep has spent X amount of money. Pep has not won the Champions League. Pep is probably not going to be one of the greats because he has failed to win the Champions League without Messi. Well, he spent X amount of money and he has delivered the Champions League. And he delivered the Champions League in a footballing calendar where he delivered the treble. the big treble. So the truth is, Arsenal have done well over the last 2 seasons. They've progressed greatly. But the truth is, according to the projects that Mikel Arteta and Edu have, it's still soon to win the Premier League this coming season. However, because of what they have done last season, finishing second place, being one of the 2 best teams throughout the season, it only makes sense that they've gone for the trophy with an aim to win. But if they don't win the trophy, as far as I'm concerned, securing Champions League football and winning a major trophy can still be classified as a successful season for me.
Thank you, Okpe. You've said it all, Okpe.
So for me, what I've said and what Okpe has said, I don't see any difference, because I really don't see any difference with the last remark he gave. But I just want us to take this thing like little by little. Like let's break things down. I agree with what Nubia Prince said. I agree with what Okpe said. But this mentality of wanting to pile pressure, even before the season starts. I keep mentioning this thing. Arsenal gets the pile on. I don't know, for whatever reason. I don't know, maybe like they will say in Yoruba, is our kadara. Whatever Arsenal do will always make people talk. The mentality of putting the pressure on Mikel Arteta, saying if he doesn't win the league, if he doesn't do this, it's failure. Looking at what Okpe cited, Pep Guardiola. Looking at the amount of Pep Guardiola has spent, let us be objective. Premiership wasn't the holy grail for Man City, because other managers have come in and won the Premier League. The holy grail for Man City was Champions League. And look at the amount of money Pep Guardiola had spent ever since he joined Man City to win the Champions League. In the context of, taking or putting Pep not to be a failure, because Pep has been there, done it, did it with Bayern Munich, did it with Barcelona. But when it came to Man City, the holy grail was Champions League. The holy grail wasn't the Premiership, wasn't the FA Cup, wasn't the Carabao Cup. The holy grail for him was the Champions League. And despite, look at the gargantuan amount of money Man City has. Man City is a behemoth when it comes to finances in the EPL. Sorry. Let me just round up. Please. Sorry. Right. I'm trying to make a point here.
Yeah.
Because the whole context is failure. He wins this, he doesn't win this, he's a failure, he's a success. That's why I'm using the context of Pep. Pep, when it came to Man City, you can't tell me they were judging Pep with Premiership. And I like what you said there. Maybe at the end of the season, Nubia Prince, maybe at the end of the season, judging Arteta could be finishing second, closely behind a Man City, not a Chelsea, a washed Chelsea, not a Liverpool that is playing Europa League. Do you understand? But also winning one of the cups. Possibly that could be the target. And I keep saying, this is the owner giving him the target. So I don't see where all these rabble-rouser fans will just come from nowhere and come up with a narrative saying because a chunk of Arsenal fan or a minute set of Arsenal fan is running some set of narrative. So that now covers the whole Arsenal fan base. Using one brush to paint all Arsenal fans. Things doesn't work that way. And like I was going back to Pep, in the context of failure and success, look at the amount of money Pep has spent. Look at the amount of money Pep has been backed just to win that Champions League.
You are right.
And Arteta, in his 4 years, because this year will make it 4 years, in his 4 years, he has just been backed with £600 million. And some fans are shouting somewhere saying, even look at Manchester United, ever since Ferguson left. Manchester United has invested so much money. The last time they won the league was 2013. Why is nobody calling out Manchester United?
No, we've been calling. No, we've been calling.
And also because this whole £600 million seems to be the next big thing, seems to be the next cake that they are eating. Chelsea as a football club in the last window, how much did they spend? They spent over $500 million. And why didn't the whole world put pressure on Chelsea as a club? Oh, we're here, we are reestablishing, we are moving from we're trying to start from the scratch. But when it's Arsenal, you tend to bring the pressure on Arsenal always. Chelsea spent over 500 500 million in a transfer window, and they finished 12th.
Yeah.
Finished 12th. They didn't even finish in any European spot. Even Aston Villa that spent less, Brighton that spent less, did better. So I just feel this whole narrative, like I said, I just want to watch next season. Don't want to put pressure on myself. I know Arsenal is going to do well. No doubt. Undoubtedly, they're going to do well.
Yeah.
Whether they're going to win the league, that's left for them to see. So we build. It's a building block. So nobody should put pressure on Arsenal. Nobody should put pressure on Arteta.
All right, because of our time. Sorry. Because of our time.
Yes.
Yeah, because of our time. I gotta go. I'm sorry.
I just want to round off with this statement.
No, hold on. No, be a prince. Because of my time, I gotta go. But I'm going to sign you out with this. But I'm going to start with Okwe. Okwe, quick one before I sign you out. It's going to be massive tonight. I want to know whether you are still a Nigerian in this competition. Talk to me, Okwe. Can you name all the players you are seeing on the screen? Straight up, and I'll sign you out.
Can I name everybody?
Everybody, number one.
Dodo Mayana.
Yes.
Daniel Amokachi.
All right.
Olise. Amuneke. That's all.
That's all?
That's all yeah.
I look at it very well.
Yekini, obviously Yekini.
All right. The time is gone. Okay, see you later. You see yourself.
No, let me go next. Let me go next.
Right.
Let me go next.
Right.
I need to go somewhere. Let me go next.
Right. Talk to me. Go for it, bro. Name it. Number one.
Can you enlarge the picture, please? Enlarge the picture.
Okay, 1 second. Let me do it.
from the right to the left of my screen.
All right.
Peter Rufai.
Okay.
Chidinwanu.
Okay.
Finidi George.
Okay.
Augustine Guavoin. Samson Siasia. Uche Okechukwu.
Okay.
Amokachi. Benny Roha. Sunday Olise. Emmanuel Amunike. Rashidi Yekini.
Hey, that guy is a Nigerian to the core, to the bone. Thank you. Nice one. Hey, bye for now, bro. One love. All right. I'm going to call on Nubia Prince. Talk to me before you go. Talk to me. Identification. Go for it, bro. Nubia Prince. Talk to me.
I can identify all of them.
All right. Go for it, bro.
Peter Rufai. Chidinwanu, please enlarge picture, please.
I've done that.
Okay. Peter Rufai, Chidinwanu, Finidi George. Sorry, Peter Rufai, Chidinwanu, Finidi George, Austin Guavon, Samson Siasia, Uche Okechukwu, Daniel Amokachi, Ben Dura, Sunday Olise, Emmanuel Amunike, Rashidi Yekini.
Oh my goodness, this guy is a Nigerian to the core, to the bone. Nubia Prince, one love. All right, I'm signing you out. Now, I'm going to call on Prof. Prof, talk to me. Identification. Right. Prof, can you listen to me? Are you there?
I don't think I'm a full Nigerian. Okay. Clarify. I don't think clarify.
All right. All right.
Daniel Amokachi. Yes. I think that's about it for me.
Yeah!
All right.
One love. Ule, you're next. Ule, can you do this for me? Don't you see me?
Peter Rufai.
All right.
Benny Roha.
All right.
What's this guy beside?
Come on.
Samson Siasia. Rashidi Yekini. Sunday Olise. Daniel Amokachi. I wasn't a football fan that time. I wasn't.
All right.
I wasn't that much of a big football fan then. So yeah.
Hello, bro. I'm signing you out. You'll see your photo.
Thanks a lot.
You'll see your photo.
All right.
Very soon. All right, what am I going to call this? I'm going to call this sexy lady. Margaret, talk to me. Who are these people? Go for it. Margaret is somewhere to be found. She's nowhere to talk to me.
In no particular order, I'm going to try. Peter Rufai, Daniel Mokachi, Samson Siasia, Olise. I think those are the popular faces. That's all.
I can't believe this. My head is pounding. All right. Thank you so much for joining us on this show. One love.
All right, you're welcome.
All right. Last man standing. Robbie, I trust you. I believe in you.
Okay, let me start. I'll go with Peter Rufai. The guy in jersey number 6, I really don't know him that much. I can't remember him. But you have Finidi George, you have Austin Iguavon, Samson Siasia, Uche Okechukwu, Daniel Amokachi, Ben Iroa, Sunday Olise, Emmanuel Amunike, and Rashidi Yekini.
All right, he did so well. Fantastic. Only missing one. Listen, Chidinwano. Not very just in number 6. Coming to that. Talk to me, Robbie. One love, bro. Take it easy.
Thank you so much.
All right. Over to you, Didon. Can you identify this? These star people. Come on, talk to me, Didon. Let's do this. Didon is ready. Right now. I go for it. I'm going to say. 5, ready number 1. Number 6, Chidinwano. Finidi George, ready number 7. And it's when they go up on ready number 2. Samson Siasia, ready number 12. And also the big giant at the back, ready number 5. Uche Okechukwu. All right, on the jersey number 14, the big bull himself, Amokachi, Ben Iroa. Standing Gidigba, bending low, number 3. I tell you, number 15, Jesse, sexy. Sunday Olise. Now Jerry Jesse, number 11, Amunike. I love him so much. All right, and the last man started, rest in peace. That is Rashidi Yekini. On this one, I'm saying, one love, people. Smash the like on the video. Join us same time next week. Over to you, people. One love, people. Bye for now.